Hey guys, welcome to Fox 10 Talks. I'm Ashlie Rodriguez here with my co-anchor Brian Webb, who's texting
Hello.
the EP right now.
Yeah, we
making
need.
sure we got our sound bites.
What was that? We need SOT 3.
We need SOT 3. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the news. Obviously, there's still a lot of fallout after what happened in Minneapolis. I believe we have some live pictures of what's taking place this afternoon. And keep in mind, I mean, not only are these folks emotional and angry over the shooting, but it is cold. So they are passionate about their beliefs to be out there right now. Do we have that live picture of Minnesota?
No, they got rid of it.
Took it down.
Oh.
There were pretty big crowds on the streets, though. Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is, but that's a good point.
Big vigil out there as well.
And lots of protests here today. Kinsey Beach covered one on Thursday, I believe, out in front of ICE. There was another one there this morning. I covered one yesterday in Scottsdale. Apparently there was one in Surprise and a couple more in the East Valley tonight, Tempe and Mesa. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's going on. We both covered the same story this week, which usually doesn't happen.
Yeah, just reports of ICE descending on Phoenix like we've seen Chicago, LA style type mass raids like that. A lot of people not happy about that. But, you know, you gotta remember it hasn't happened yet, so you don't want to stoke fears. But obviously the tension in this country around ICE is definitely ramping up. So this is video of some of the protests happening outside Phoenix. Pretty benign compared to what we're seeing on the East Coast. DC has one right now. They're out there in the cold, pouring rain in front of the White House. And I don't know about you, Brian, but whenever I go out and cover protests, you mentioned this. When you ask people, why are you out here?
Yeah.
And they feel like, well, if I don't do something, I'm going to go crazy. And this is all I can do to express my discontent with this administration.
While admitting they really don't think it'll add up to anything.
No, because the No Kings protests were very heavily populated and attended, and he never even, I don't think Trump even commented on it.
Yeah, because if you don't want to see that, you don't need to. If you do, you can, and that's how it goes in this day and age.
I do feel like it's cathartic, though, for people of like-minded feelings on these issues. Just being amongst people and feeling that camaraderie of being like, okay, I'm not
the only one.
Crazy. I'm not the only one. I think it allows them to release some of that pent-up tension.
For sure. And, you know, we were just talking a minute ago about how, is ICE coming or not? And, you know, that can start with a report that may be truthful or not. But it seemed by the time your story happened on Monday, mine happened on Friday. By Friday, everybody was believing it was going to happen. A U.S. senator, a state senator, an immigration attorney. They all think it's coming. And I made the point, I don't know if it's accurate, but we do have Democrat elected leaders in the top 3 positions in the state. So you might think this state is clearly purple and might draw the attention of the White House that way.
We'll see what happens. I feel like we got a lot of the, fireworks from those large-scale ICE raids, like especially in Chicago and stuff, where that video was coming out and it was getting really aggressive between protesters and ICE officers. But this being a purple, almost reddish state, I wonder if ICE would even hit those kind of barricades with people, and it probably would be a non-issue for the most part if you weren't aware of it. Now, obviously, if news of their raids gets out and people start spreading the word and showing up to a raid, that's different. But these are really, really blue cities in which ICE is doing this, so they've already. They're already ready to fight ICE. That's
a good point. It's kind of like Arizona is a red state and we are in a blue, technically, city, largely. I mean, if you look at the voter map, which is kind of interesting, you see where they vote a Democrat or Republican comes in. And in Phoenix, it's pretty blue. And then you get out to the outer lying suburbs and it goes red. But so that's a good point. But whether it was interesting interviewing an immigration attorney yesterday, and she's like, you know, if you are undocumented and you're here, your first reaction is probably to hide and just keep on doing what you're doing. But she said, no, I mean, you need to get your plans in place now because it's not a matter of if, but when. And she suggested, she had all these legal advice for people like that, including memorize a contact number and maybe get an attorney ahead of time. And also, what was it? Don't sign anything. Don't think necessarily that you're going to be immediately deported, even though that's what ICE is going to tell you, that there are, you know, if you reach out to an attorney, there are ways to stay and have your case heard while you are in the U.S. So that was that side of it. We both interviewed Senate President Warren Peterson. His take on the whole thing is, you know, you won't, more his point about to anybody, whether it be a protest in Minneapolis or being undocumented, you won't get hurt, you won't get in trouble, you won't have a problem if you follow the law. Simple as that. That was his message.
Yeah, that's pretty much the Republican perspective, because I don't think we're seeing American citizens detained and deported. These are people who are in the country illegally. So that's going to be pretty much, how they support their viewpoint.
But have you noticed
the law is broken?
Have you noticed a little bit of a pivot on? We're going to go after the worst offenders, and now it's a little bit. We're going to go after. I've heard a slight shift in language. We're going to go after them first, which leads me to believe there's a second. And so we get the bad guys off the streets first. I don't think too many people are complaining about that. But then you pivot into the guys at Home Depot, which I guess there may have been a couple of detainee, or how do I say that? People taken into custody from that Home Depot near my house, who in theory, I don't know, don't have a criminal background. They're here to work, as far as I know.
Well, the criminal background is being here illegally.
Yes. Well, right. That can be interpreted a different way. But that wasn't, I hear you, and that's true, but that wasn't how it was presented.
No. And it wasn't presented as ICE officers standing outside of immigration court either.
Right.
Waiting for illegals to come out. Illegals who have a piece of paper in their hand that says, come back at this date so that we can figure out your immigration status, and then being detained before that can even happen.
That's a new level.
And what the blue side will tell you is, we could have told you what happened in Minneapolis was going to happen because of the fact that you're filling our city streets with these ICE agents who don't have training. They don't have non-lethal training. They're not police officers. And then protesters are showing up and it's chaos. And a lot of people are like, look, this could have been prevented. Could have told you this kind of chaos and violence was going to happen.
Well, it does set up a kind of a powder keg, doesn't it? And then if I read right, the Minnesota governor called out the National Guard, which I assume means the Minnesota National Guard. And then you think, so there are basically soldiers who may come face to face with federal law enforcement. How does that play out? And
then police are also
and the
watching
police in the middle
scene.
of it.
Yeah.
And sheriff's deputies and all the rest.
So look how cold it is in Minneapolis right now. This is a live shot, and you can see this has got to be a crowd of a couple hundred people showing, their just disgust with what happened this week. It really triggered 2020 for me.
It's like George Floyd.
It feels like, and then especially
city.
that night when it happened, and they're screaming, "Say her name, say her name," and I said to myself, "Uh-oh, this is not."
Isn't it truly amazing that the same exact clip of video that we all saw in the beginning can be seen completely differently depending on your point of view, political point of view? Did she try to kill an officer with her car? Was she there to disrupt their operation, et cetera, et cetera? Did she somewhat put herself in a dangerous situation and it's her fault? Or did this ICE agent, start shooting first, asking questions later? Why didn't he shoot out her tires instead of 3 bullets to the head? Kind of questions, depending on and it just goes right back to, we all go to our corners and we decide what we're seeing there. And it's completely different. I heard it this morning at the coffee shop. People are like, they're this way or they're this way. I try to avoid, they always want to tell me their point of view.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
Well, it was a first for me to have President Trump tweet and DHS head Kristi Noem come out with a statement that quickly. I think in the time that we've covered these kinds of events, they usually will say this is under investigation, under review, and hopefully they fast track it. Then they release body cam video, but they study it and then they come out with an official statement. And immediately our leaders in charge came out with what they believed happened, and then the mayor, Jacob Frey, right?
Yeah.
Of Minneapolis came out cussing,
dropping the F-bomb
with what he thought happened. And it was like, where is the leadership? Where's the adult in the room that can just tell everybody, let's calm down and let's review this and investigate it?
Exactly. That was my question to Warren Peterson yesterday, the Senate president here in Arizona. I said, does someone out there need to de-escalate things? And his immediate reaction was, you won't get hurt if you don't break the law. They, like Renee, what was her Good, she's the one who needs to de-escalate. Not the president, not the police, not ICE, the protesters. So again, immediately back to our corners, what we believe, who's at fault.
Yes. And I think, I think at this point in time, if you're watching these protests, you should not feel
Safe?
encouraged to
Yeah.
blockade,
No.
block federal officers to get in their face. It just don't do it. Just avoid it, because whether or not he was right or wrong, she's passed away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so for your own safety, stay far away from them, and then we can have a conversation about what the protocol should have been. I mean, obviously they're saying that he might have PTSD because he was dragged before, and maybe they need more training. And why do they have guns? And maybe they need a police around them to like keep people
Yeah.
away from them. I don't know, but
Yeah, good point. I also heard that officers are trained. I heard this from a former officer on television. They're trained not to stand in front of a car. Now, why he ended up there exactly, I don't know. It seemed like he just had to move a leg out of the way. It has been brought up. If you're trying to stop her from fleeing the scene, you shoot out the tires and she doesn't really go anywhere. If he thought he was under attack, it's kind of, if she's fleeing the scene, I think the officer said deadly force is not necessary because no one's life is in danger. But if he thought his life was in danger, we've heard it a million times. They stop the threat, boom, and that's their training.
yes.
To shoot to kill. I mean, that's just how it goes.
So we only have about a minute or so before the break. So I did want to go to, I believe we have do we not have a soundbite of a protester to hear it straight from the horse's mouth? Let's go ahead and listen to that.
Is this the one I got yesterday, you think, Scottsdale?
No, this one is from today in Phoenix.
I'm just out here because things have gotten so bad, so out of control that I can't trust my government anymore to stand up for me. I'm a normal person. I have protested one other time in my life at the No Kings rally, and I don't trust that my government's standing up for what's normal right now. What is just human decency? This isn't even about politics anymore. It's about human decency. How we're treating people. People are literally getting grabbed off the street and murdered for that matter. And they're actually just calling it something else. We're all watching the videos. We all see it. That's all it's about. I need someone we know Trump's crazy. Where's the rest of the government helping us? Where's somebody else? This was supposed to be about checks and balances, and it's way off course.
Yeah, and it looks like he's taking a very hardline stance. Because they definitely immediately had ICE's back.
That's why he was elected, right? I mean, honestly, he was elected to be a hardline president, and people are fine. Welcome back to Fox 10 Talks Saturday afternoon. Brian here with Ashlie and our movie expert, Hans Peterson, an actual actor. Did you ever direct?
No, never directed.
Well, come on, man.
I'd love to. I know, right?
Get with it. You know the camera shots and the angles and the plot and the subplot. What else goes in there? You can't just have 3 acts. You can't just have a plot anymore. You have to have subplot. How many subplots do you go with?
You go subplot B, C.
B? Whoa.
I think 3 is. But I've also done a lot as a movie critic.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I went to Sundance a bunch of times and wrote
Oh,
for
yeah.
a local publication.
Where's Sundance going to be next? I
It's
forgot.
going to be in Colorado,
Colorado?
Colorado next year. This is the last year it's in Park City.
Now,
which
why
is
did
kinda
they,
sad.
if they complained about how big it got in Park City, why go to Boulder? Boulder's bigger.
know.
It's
And-
not like some sleepy town.
And I'm betting all the theaters are spread out. There was something about Park City that was really cool because it was all happening in just one little community.
Yeah.
You might bump into, oh, Jodie Foster, oh, Sean Penn. It was that kind of thing.
But it was also when Kim Kardashian showed up, Robert Redford's like, no, we're out of here. Right? Isn't that how it went?
yeah.
Somebody made that comment about her being there. It's like, what?
Paris Hilton.
Well, yeah, Paris Hilton.
there,
What are you
yeah.
doing here?
Yeah, just to be
It's
on the
where we
red
live in.
carpet.
It's where we live.
I got to see some movies
What'd you
over
see?
the Christmas break. I saw Avatar. It wasn't bad.
Nice. Oh, good.
Okay.
I saw If I Had Legs, I Could Kick You.
Right?
That was really
Did you like
good.
it?
I haven't even heard of
That's a
that.
fun one.
Yeah,
What's that
that's
about?
Rose Byrne, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
And they think that it could be nominated. She could get like Best Actress.
Yes, now
I
that
think
you
she got a
mention it.
Critics' Choice nomination already. But yeah,
Now,
yeah.
What does
She did
she?
great.
What does she play in
great
that movie?
A very stressed out mom.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's just the choice of camera angles and like how tight it is on her face, and you
Oh,
just
no.
feel the tension
Yeah.
the whole movie. It just ramps up and up and
Yeah.
up and up, and you can feel herself like her mind just unwinding.
Speaking of
Yes.
tension, poor Hans, if he's sweating and he can hardly breathe because we have renovations going on in the building and it's like a maze to get here, right?
kinda
And it's
true.
Like, where's Hans?
I went through
Where's
2 wrong
Hans?
doors. I'm like, wait, I'm outside
my
now. How'd I get
gosh.
outside? I got to go back in.
We got to go through a weird place that we don't usually go, and then in a garage, and then through to get back in here. It's a little. I guess we'll get used to it, but right now it's a little confusing.
And one battle after the other,
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
We both saw that.
Did you
right?
see it?
Yeah,
Last night, yeah.
It's good,
Intense,
right?
it
man.
is. Yeah.
Intense.
It's definitely a reason it has the best picture buzz. I think.
And where do they get this young actor, that actress in there that played his daughter? I mean, she's so good.
Oh,
and
Chase
what is she?
Infinity. Yeah.
I'm
Another-
sure she has a history, but I'm like, where these new people come up and they're so good, boom, right out of the gate.
Yeah, and she got a
Impressive.
Critics' Choice nomination
Deserving,
too. Totally,
deserving.
Totally, yeah.
Does Critics' Choice matter? Is that like a precursor?
I think
Because it
exactly,
was
I
really
think.
well attended, so I'm like, they take
Hmm.
it seriously.
Yeah, I think it's sort of the precursor to Screen Actors Guild Awards, and then those are precursor Golden Globes and Oscars.
Build
I
up and
think
build
that-
up. Yeah.
One movie I just saw this morning, actually, speaking of seeing a movie at the last few hours, this one was Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. It's a
Okay.
new one by Jim Jarmusch, who's just a filmmaker I really love. I love this guy. I don't know, his movies kind of have a naturalistic quality, kind of a pacing of their own. That's all of its own. It's winner of the Golden Lion Award at the Venice Film Festival. And it's 3 different vignettes about 3 different adult parents and the distance that they have from their aging parents or from their parents near death.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting. And there's a certain universal quality to all 3 of the stories. And we have a clip of it, I know. Each story takes place in a different country, and it's kind of reminiscent of a different movie he did called Night on Earth, which was about 5 different taxi cab rides in 5 different cities,
Cool.
which was really fun. In this case, though, it's just 3 stories, 3 different stories, 3 different cities around the globe. And it's kind of part of the fun is watching the common and different elements that each story has with each other. You know, for some reason, each character talks about a fake Rolex watch or someone named Uncle Bob. I mean, there's a certain, or the quality of the water. And so it makes it kind of fun to, I don't know, it suggests that there is this universal quality to the human experience.
I'm liking the actors I'm seeing.
So many
I can't
great
name
actors,
them, but
yeah. Adam Driver.
Okay,
Oh, Adam
Adam
Driver's
Driver.
The one-
Miam Balick is
The
in it.
woman, the woman they just showed us, she died though. One of them, right? No. Recently?
I didn't catch who, but I know Miam Balick's in it with Adam Driver. They play siblings, and Tom Waits is their dad.
Is she an actor? Isn't she from Jeopardy?
She was on Jeopardy, yeah, and then she was also at Blossom and
Okay.
of
Gotcha.
course Big Bang Theory, and
Huh.
then
Oh, that's
So what's the thing that they struggle to connect with their aging parents.
Yeah.
It's a distance that grows as they get older.
Exactly. Well, and also that they're still falling into the same roles, you know.
Yeah.
Your siblings, there's the obedient, dutiful sibling, and then it
sure.
seems in each of the three families, there's the dutiful one, and then there's the disobedient one. Even as
You got to.
adults, as older adults, people.
It's the yin and yang of the universe, right?
Right?
You're gonna have a bad apple sooner or later if you keep having kids.
We kind of have those roles in our family. And
Well,
even still, you know, even though our parents are gone, we're still like, there's the dutiful one and the disobedient one. And
It never changes. And my mom moved in with me briefly last year. She's moving to a senior center, and we were right back in high school and I regret it. I mean, I was the mouthy kid at times because she was asking me questions like a mom would ask. And I'm like, Mom, I haven't lived under your roof for decades. Don't tell me this. Don't question me. And I was like, oh, why did I say that? It was just as a knee jerk reaction. It was just like sad.
Right.
It was sad.
No,
I mean, it wasn't all bad, but yeah.
I totally relate. Yeah.
Okay, so I lived it. I lived it. I don't need to see that movie. I lived it.
It's really it's a beautiful one. It's that awkward formality between the parents. And Kate Blanchett is in it. Charlotte Rampling. It's a great cast. I like this one.
Sorry, Mom, about that. Oh, shit, the last name you just mentioned. Didn't she die?
Kate Blanchett?
Rampling.
Charlotte Rampling. Oh, you're right. I think
died.
you're right. This must have been one of her last performances.
She was a big deal.
She
was a big deal. Stunningly gorgeous.
Yes.
Was she a Bond girl or maybe adjacent Bond girl? Anyway, yeah.
There's another one to talk about. It's sort of a Christmas leftover. We haven't gotten to Song Sung Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Neil Diamond?
Yeah. It's billed as a true story, and most of the events are true except for the ending.
Okay.
It is set in Wisconsin in the early 90s, and it's about a singer and another woman who basically they form a Neil Diamond, not an impersonator band, but a tribute band.
Yeah.
And
smart.
They're Neil Diamond interpreters, they call themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Kate Hudson got a Screen Actors Guild nomination for her performance in this as the woman named Thunder, who teams up with a guy named Lightning, so they're Lightning and Thunder. And they face a lot of setbacks, everything from like substance addiction to just coping with older age. And sort of the movie seems to have this theme about how we're all kind of living on borrowed time. It's really beautifully done. Yeah.
Neil Diamond has dementia now, does he not? Yeah. So that's true right there. Yeah. My weird little story about Neil Diamond was in college, I went to go visit a friend. I think his family was second generation from Cuba. So we're in the car and a Neil Diamond Coming to America song comes on. And him and his brother start singing this song at the top of their lungs, and they were not messing around. That was their anthem. We're coming to America, the home of all that stuff. And I thought it was kind of joking, and they were not joking. That song was the real deal for them because their family lived it. It was pretty impressive. So Neil Diamond, like Americana.
He really is.
Americana.
He was always someone I kind of made fun of when I was a kid or a teenager. And now it's like every song I hear in this movie is like, oh, that one. Oh, that's a good one, too. I was kind of.
And he wrote it for himself, and he wrote them for the others. He wrote them for the Monkees.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I will say there was this time we were on the big gondola in Palm Springs that goes all the way from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain, but it broke. And so we were waiting hours to get on this gondola, and we finally get on the, quote, repaired gondola, and we were just kind of freaking out because are we going to get stuck, hanging in the wind? And so they played the song Sweet Caroline as we were descending. And everybody's like, Sweet Caroline, da, da, da.
Get your mind off it.
Totally get our mind off the fact that we were, at Death's Door.
That's a smart amusement park there.
Yeah.
I have a recommendation for a television show, Pluribus.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
So I finished it.
You did?
Oh, it was so good.
Okay.
Yeah,
so this is Vince Gilligan who did the X-Files, and it's like 9 episodes. It's so good, and it's about the end of the world.
I'm at the end of 2, where she meets the other people like her, which are only a dozen or if that, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like, but they all are cool with what's going on, and she's the only one not cool with what's going on, right?
I don't want to say anything because
you can't even say anything.
Well, I've seen the whole thing.
You don't want to give too much up to this one.
But it is really good. If you're out there and looking for a new show, Pluribus on Apple TV.
Right? Okay.
They call it a story about the angriest woman in the world, which is kind of true, but really not. That's really misrepresenting what it's really about.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to do any
I
spoilers
would react
either,
like she reacted.
I think it's about AI.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the internet,
How
just the
so?
collective.
All right.
Our collective knowledge in the world.
All right, I'll watch.
Well, anyway, Song Sung Blue is a great one. Toe Tapping, Good Time, enough songs to make it a musical. Jim Belushi and Michael Imperioli do a great job in it, too.
Belushi's in it?
Yeah, Jim Belushi's a great character actor. You didn't even recognize him at
yeah.
first. Yeah. I think we have time for one more.
Yeah, go for it.
This one's a wild one.
3 minutes. There we go.
This one was just dropped last week on streaming. It's kind of under the radar. The Zodiac Killer Project. I actually saw it a year ago. at home. You can watch Sundance Film Festivals at home. So I watched it almost a year ago. I should mention Wednesday is the day you can actually get tickets for Sundance. If you want to watch them at home. Just an aside.
Home.
Just a little aside if you want to watch it at home. But this one, Zodiac Killer Project, its director Charlie Shackleton was working on a documentary about the Zodiac Killer, how a highway patrol officer was working to solve it, but the documentary fell through. So instead, Shackleton took all his B-roll footage that was shot and kind of rising from the ashes, he turns it all into a movie about the types of elements that we typically expect from a true crime documentary. So there's a lot of B-roll footage. You saw the B-roll footage, and it's like everything from the clock ticking on the wall to like a smoldering cigarette in the ashtray, the bullet casings that fall in slow motion to the ground. You know, these are the kinds of things that we typically see in a true crime documentary. And he kind of pulls it all apart. He deconstructs it, which is a word I kind of hate because it sounds pretentious, but he really does deconstruct the movie and sort of
deep dives it.
He does, yeah, and sort of looks at why are Americans so fascinated by all this? Why do we expect that shot of the cigarette in the ashtray or the bullet casing falling to the ground?
That's pretty good.
Kind of
Are you a murder person?
Yeah,
a murder doc person?
I used to get into it. Well, I used to get into some of those until I realized it's always the husband who did it.
I do not understand. It's
really not
like women, especially around my age, love it.
Yeah,
Let's see how this guy killed his wife tonight.
They're the ones leading
not
the true
entertainment.
crime.
Maybe it's because we're in news. We don't find it as entertaining.
I think you're right. I used to like true crime until I got back into news, and then
our lives are true crime.
Right.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
And then once you've seen enough of these, well, at least when the husband does it, which is almost always. Sorry to be a downer, Debbie Downer there, but like they do try to like steer you over here, and well, maybe the gardener did it, or maybe but it's like, nah, he did it. There's enough of that. The husband did it. Okay. Yeah. Well, I give away that ending. Give away that ending.
Got a lot of
I tried to watch Hamlet.
Oh yeah, what do you think of Hamnet? Yeah,
I can't find it on streaming. I think it's only in theaters.
It's not there yet. Yeah, I think you're right.
Did you watch The Jinx that I was trying to tell you about? Robert Durst.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen this yet.
What?
I know.
That's
I know. Well, I watched the ending. But
is it this
kind of a
the
giveaway?
ending's the one?
I know, the ending's the best part.
I
should watch the whole thing.
The ending's the whole.
Yeah, that's the best
But watch
part.
the whole thing in order.
I will.
The ending is like, are you kidding me?
Okay.
And why I always say, photographer, please roll on everything. We'll worry about the other stuff later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes photographers don't want to shoot this for one reason or another. I'm like, no, shoot it now. We'll have it. And then if we don't want to use it for editorial reasons or whatever, we won't use it. But roll on it.
Do you all find when you do interviews and you say, okay, well, that's it. Then the person starts spilling everything as soon as the camera's
100%.
off?
Yeah, or like, is there anything else you'd like to say? And then it's like the best soundbite.
The best soundbite, without a doubt.
Yeah.
The pressure's a little bit off, and they're like, oh, I got to get in my last shot. 100%. That happens all the time. Happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
Happened to me yesterday. That's it? We're done?
Well, I guess we're done, yeah.
All right. Thanks,
fun.
Hans.
Isabel says we're done. We're done. She's the boss here.
Tune in to our newscast at 5 and at 9 and 10 today just to check in and see what the world is doing. It's quite the tense weekend, but we're going to keep you updated.
Look at Ashlie.
Hopefully,
Double
everyone.
promotion.